Washington Courthouse, Ohio. Washington Courthouse, often abbreviated as Washington C.H., is a city in Union Township, Fayette County, Ohio. It is the county seat of Fayette County and is located between Cincinnati and Columbus. The population was 14,192 in 2010 at the 2010 census. The area was initially settled by Virginia veterans of the American Revolution, who received the land from the government as payment for their service in the war. Name: officially named Washington as far back as 1910, the courthouse suffix was used to distinguish the city from other places in the state with Washington in their name. Ohio also has an Old Washington, New Washington, Washingtonville, and Port Washington. The suffix is attributed to settlers who had come from Virginia, where courthouse was used with county seats, e.g. Appomattox Courthouse. Washington C.H. was added to maps and postal guides, and the de facto use of Washington Courthouse persisted over time. The name was made official when the city adopted a new charter in the early 2000s. Washington Courthouse is the longest city name in the state of Ohio. History: Washington Courthouse's first settlers appear to have been Edward Smith Sr. and his family, who emigrated from Pennsylvania in 1810. Smith and his family constructed a crude house in the thick woodlands near Paint Creek. Comparatively soon after returning from his martial pursuits, Smith drowned while attempting to cross a flooded creek, but his widow and 10 children survived and prospered despite the absence of their patriarch. Smith's descendants remained prominent in Fayette County for more than a century after his arrival from Pennsylvania, although many had left Washington Courthouse for other parts of the county. A family residence still stands on U.S. Route 62 not far outside the city's eastern boundary. In 1833, Washington Courthouse, then known as Washington, contained a printing office, 7 stores, 2 taverns, 2 groceries, a schoolhouse, a meeting house, and about 70 residential houses. Numerous locations in the city are listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Downtown, the Courthouse Square has been named a historic district, and a similar designation has been accorded the city cemetery. 9 individual buildings are separately listed on the register: Judy Chapel at the cemetery, the former Washington School, the Fayette County Courthouse, the former William Burnett House no longer standing, and the Barney Kelly, Jacob Light, Rawlings Brownell, Robinson Pavey, and Morris Sharp houses. Streets within the downtown part of the city around the courthouse building are arranged northeast-southwest and northwest-southeast, rather than east-west and north-south. 1894 riot. On October 16, 1894, a crowd gathered outside the Fayette County Courthouse with intent to lynch convicted rapist William Jasper Dolby, a black man who had raped a white woman. Ohio Governor William McKinley called out the militia to subdue the crowd. On October 17, the crowd rushed the courthouse doors and was warned to disperse or be fired upon. They ignored the warning and continued to batter the doors. Colonel Alonzo B. Coit ordered his troops to fire through the courthouse doors, killing 5 men. Colonel Coit was indicted for manslaughter but was acquitted at trial. After the trial, Governor McKinley stated, "The law was upheld as it should have been, but in this case at fearful cost. Lynching cannot be tolerated in Ohio." The courthouse doors were not repaired or replaced, and the bullet holes from the 1894 riot are still present in the southeast doors. Geography: Washington Courthouse is located at 39-3211 and 83-268 W along Paint Creek. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 80 square miles, 79 km2, of which 74 square miles, 64 km2 is land and 0. 6 square miles 0. 16 km2 is covered by water. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 14,192 people. The population density was 1623. 8 inhabitants per square mile 627. 0/km2. There were 6,433 housing units at an average density of 736. 0 per square mile 284. 2/km2. The racial makeup of the city was 93. 5% white, 2. 7% African American, 0. 3% Native American, 0. 8% Asian, 0. 6% from other races, and 1% from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 8% of the population. There were 5,762 households, of which 8% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 7% were married couples living together, 6% had a female householder with no husband present, 7% had a male householder with no wife present, and 0% were non-families. 1% of all households were made up of individuals, and 7% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 37, and the average family size was 92. The median age in the city was 4 years. 25% of residents were under the age of 18. 1% were between the ages of 18 and 24-25. 7% were from 25 to 44-25. 2% were from 45 to 64 and 15. 9% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 47. 7% male and 3% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 13,524 people, 5,483 households, and 3,536 families residing in the city. The population density was 810. 8/km2 2100. 8/mitwo. There were 5,961 housing units at an average density of 357. 4/km2 926. 0/mitwo. The racial makeup of the city was 94. 52% white, 2. 71% African American, 0. 16% Native American, 0. 82% Asian, 0. 1% Pacific Islander, 0. 66% from other races, and 12% from 2 or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 38% of the population. There were 5,483 households, out of which 1% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 46. 5% were married couples living together, 13. 7% had a female householder with no husband present, and 5% were non-families. 7% of all households were made up of individuals, and 2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 37, and the average family size was 93. In the city, the age distribution of the population showed 0% under the age of 18, 8. 1% from 18 to 24, 28. 2% from 25 to 44, 22. 0% from 45 to 64 and 16. 7% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 37 years. For every 100 females, there were 92. 7 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 87. 0 males. The median income for a household in the city was $33,003, and the median income for a family was $40,721. Males had a median income of $31,708 versus $22,382 for females. The per capita income for the city was $18,618. About 9.0% of families and 12.5% of the population were below the poverty line, including 16.3% of those under the age of 18 and 13.2% ages 65 or older. Media. Washington Courthouse is part of the Columbus, Ohio media market, so is served by several Columbus area television and radio stations. The city has 2 local radio stations. Buckeye Country 105.5 FM WCHO plays country music, and WCHO AM 1250 plays oldies. Both stations cover local news, sports, and agricultural stories. Washington Courthouse also easily receives radio and television stations from Dayton and Cincinnati. The hometown newspaper of Washington Courthouse is the Record Herald. The Record Herald was formed from the merger of 2 dailies, the Record Republican and the Washington C.H. Herald, in 1937. The latter paper's publishing history dates back to 1858, when it began as a weekly. As of 2012, the Record Herald reported circulation of 5,143 daily and 21,849 for weekend inserts. Notable people. Randall Dale Adams, wrongly convicted of murder. His release was accomplished by a 1988 documentary film. Harry M. Daugherty, United States Attorney General under Presidents Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge. Scott Lewis, Cleveland Indians baseball player, 2008-9. Sam Lucas, vaudeville actor and singer. Margaret Peterson Haddix, author of children's fiction. Art Schlichter, quarterback, Ohio State and NFL. Jeff Shaw, Major League Baseball player, 1992-2001, 2-time All-Star. Travis Shaw, Major League Baseball player for the Milwaukee Brewers. Jess Smith, lawyer and assistant to Harry M. Daugherty. Government. In 2016, the municipal government stated that any persons who survive a heroin overdose may be charged with a misdemeanor crime. City Council, as of 2017. Dale E. Lynch. Steve R. Jennings. Kendra Red Hernandez. Lee Link Foster. Ted Hawk. Kimberly Bonnell. Jim D. Chrisman. Other officials, as of 2017. City Manager Garrett Smith. Fire Chief Tom Utes. Police Chief Brian Hottinger. Municipal Court Judge Victor D. Pontius Jr. Director of Finance Tom L. Riley. ASP. Director of Finance Tina M. Keaton. Building and Zoning Inspector Rod Bryant. Boards and Committees, as of May 2017. City Income Tax Board members Ron Sockman, Nancy Hammond, Wilma Coulter. Civil Service Commission members Alan Griffiths, Susan Wolstade, John Hank Rossman. City Planning Commission members Keith Eccles, Tim Fogt, John Pfeiffer, Kirk Wilson, Scott Snyder. Board of Zoning Appeals members Tammy Bath, Denny Bays, Dave Fish, Dan Leverton, Donald Moore. Education. Education in Washington Courthouse, Ohio, comprises two public school districts, as well as a private school and a community college. Washington Courthouse City School District enrolls most school-aged children within the city limits of Washington Courthouse. Miami Trace Local School District includes Miami Trace High School. Fayette Christian School. The Fayette County campus of Southern State Community College Washington Courthouse has a public library, housed in a historic Carnegie Library building. Airport. Fayette County Airport is a county-owned general aviation facility located northeast of Washington Courthouse.